Well, we only have one guest left for today, but I know you are going to love her because she has the message that every single person on this broadcast needs to hear. This is the message you have been waiting for. If you have been looking for a sign, this is your sign. I promise you that. She is the author of Manifest That Miracle. Learn why you don't have what you want and how to get it. Please join me in welcoming our last guest of the broadcast, Lana Shlafer. Hello, darling.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's such an honor.
I'm so excited that you are here. The day we met, I knew this was going to be one of the books of the year for 2020. I knew 2020 was all about vision. And if there is one thing required for a miracle, it is a vision. What a crazy twist this year has taken.
Unbelievable.
What my vision is now. I'm like, ah. So I think people who thought they didn't need this book before, oh my God, do we need it now? I want you to share what this book is about, who it's for, and why now is the right time.
So I committed to writing this book last year. I had no idea that these are the circumstances under which I'd be releasing it. But that is actually right on point and right on message for me, which is that you've got to set that intention, have that clear vision, take the steps, and not just want what you think you want, but actually want what you got. And so the more that you can accept, embrace, appreciate, and celebrate however things showed up, the more I call it color it good. The more that you can color it good, the more good you will derive from it. So even though we are in Puerto Rico here, where we moved with our whole family of 5 last year, and we are on really strict quarantine, we're not allowed to actually go outside at all. And it's been, I think, 25 days now. Just finding the things that I can do instead of focusing on what I can't do and having all of these mindset tools has been so paramount for me and for everyone in my community. So I feel like this is a message that truly the world is ready to hear. When we have less freedom, when we have more uncertainty, when we have more discomfort in the world, this is the time to find it within, because the world isn't giving it to you.
So you are one of the world's best law of attraction trainers, and law of attraction coaches, trainers, teachers can get a lot of crap for being maybe too Pollyanna-ish, pie in the sky, too happy. Like you just think about it and you get it. What do you think people get wrong about law of attraction? What's the thing, if you could just tell everyone about law of attraction, that you would want them to know, especially the skeptics?
Yeah. I love the skeptics because I am one. I did not grow up with this. I grew up in Russia in a communist environment, completely atheist, with none of these new agey ideas. This is not my experience, right? So I've come to it through my own path that was more trial and error and discovering what worked. And so this is what I always tell people, is that you want to just try things and see what works for you. But the biggest misconception is people put emotions on a hierarchy. And they think that some are good and some are bad. And even these kind of common ways that we divide emotions and our mindset into positive and negative. What if every painful emotion was there as a gift, as a messenger, as an informant, as a guide for you to redirect where you need to go so that you can get to where you want to get? So I always say, you always get either what you want or what you need. So can you receive what you got so that you can actually get to what you want? And a lot of us, including myself, there's a lot of things that I need to shift in my mindset in order to arrive where I want to arrive. And people always think that it's out there. When they get there, they'll be happy. When they get the money, when they get the partner, when they get the book, when they get the whatever it is, the baby. And the truth is, there's always that carrot in front of you. And whatever you get to, you're not going to be satisfied because you haven't practiced the art of being satisfied where you are. Yeah. And that is this tricky thing. And when I was in the hot seats with Abraham Hicks and infinite intelligence and all the learning that I've done, one of the things they told me is, once you've mastered being able to create that emotion within yourself, I'm sorry to say it, but you're going to have to take the manifestations that come with it, because they will follow. But you cannot want the happiness through the things you think you need. You have to claim it. You have to achieve it for yourself. And that is within everyone's reach. If Nelson Mandela can do it, if Viktor Frankl can do it under the most insane circumstances, so can you. I have, and I feel like this is the message: is you hold the key. As Dr. Mindy said earlier, you are the miracle. Like,
Yeah.
you have it all within you. This book is about unlocking it.
So I know there's some very special people who have been walking your book journey with you over the last couple months while you have been going through the edits, and they've helped you sort of perfect the steps and the process. Talk about what it's like to work with you, and how is the book different than the actual experience of working with you and your team? I know you have other coaches as well.
Yeah. So, the process of writing a book, I didn't know what to expect. I've been writing this book for many years, essentially through doing this work. And I had different manuscripts already put together. I've run different programs. When I started working with you and your team, I was able to actually get super laser clear, which is something that I was missing. I have like 5 books in me. I needed to pick the first one, that I actually focused on.
I remember you kept trying to tell me you didn't know what your book was. And I was like, but your book is this.
I know, because they're so, like a typical creative, right? And I'm so excited because I've been able to help people in so many different areas of life that it's almost overwhelming. How do you pick the one to write to? And so it's been amazing with your team. And honestly, it was a process with my entire community. I really believe in co-creation. That for me, I could almost tear up. That's been an edge for me my whole life, being super independent, growing up in a really harsh environment. I was really encouraged by my parents to be independent because that was the way to survive, really. And so for me to open up to support from others and actually co-creating, my whole community helped me write this book. All the participants that I've worked with in my programs and previous clients came together. It's been truly, like, I feel like I have so many midwives and doulas and support systems who brought it all together, including everyone on your team, my amazing editor, both of my editors, Andre and Emily, everybody really on your team. And Angela, you especially. I felt like you created these super solid boundaries that I always say that freedom without boundaries is chaos.
Yeah.
Right? So the boundaries are needed to find the freedom. And I flourished in this. My vortex tattoo is about reminding that there's always an order in chaos. And so I feel like we found a lot of order and a lot of freedom in all of the creativity and ideas.
I feel that way too. I'm still going to ask Jasmine's question. You answered it a little bit, but let's talk to Jasmine. She's from Seattle and she wants to know, how did you choose an ideal reader to write your book for? So Jasmine's obviously been studying my work, but she has not signed up yet. And there may be other people here like that. So she knows the phrase ideal reader. For us, that's the one person you write your book as a love letter to. There could have been so many. How did you make that choice?
Well, first of all, just that idea of writing to one person and getting them so clear in your mind was paramount, because then I could speak naturally the way that I speak to that one person without worrying about all of the things I should say or explain. So that really helped. And I really wrote to somebody who's been doing a lot of self-help work or doing coaching, therapy, has gone to workshops, has read the books, and they're still stuck. And the reason I chose this as ideal reader, because those are the questions that I get that are really frustrating for me. Like, I will get sometimes hundreds of emails saying, I've tried this, I've done all of this, I've read the books, I've gone to the workshops. Why is this still not working? So for me, the theme was so recurring. I really wanted to dive into, this is why it's not working, which is like the biggest portion of the book. You will know why it's not working because Thich Nhat Hanh says to love is to understand, and to understand is to love. And you cannot love and accept yourself until you understand yourself and why the things that have happened in your life, why the patterns that have happened in your life have occurred. When you can understand it, then you have a choice. Then it's not subconscious or unconscious. Then there is more awareness and you can choose how you want to proceed. And I give a lot of tools for that. But really, I wrote it to the people that were so frustrated because I wanted to respond to all of the emails that I've had over the years that I just couldn't take them through my programs, right? I wanted to give them some sort of an answer that would help them today.
I love that. So powerful. For some of these books, I have recommended you do like a Zoom chat book club, and that would be fun for this book. But here's my advice on this one. Get Manifest That Miracle. You can see the link on the screen right now. It's totally free. And whoever you are quarantined with, if it's your family, even if it's little kids that are 2 or 3, your older kids that have come back home to live with you, roommates that you're not sure if you're going to make it, and do this book, read this book together and learn that you can co-create, because that's really what this is about, is holding a vision in partnership with others around you. And that's what Lana does so beautifully in her life and in her programs, and why I want this book to be in everyone's hands, because we create our own futures, and the people around us, they say, often this is said in a negative way, the 5 people you spend the most time with, you're the average of those people. That's also a pretty amazing thing too. So what if you were intentional in your community about what you want to create, even in the next couple weeks? It's a quick read. It'll take you a couple hours. It can be a one-night activity. You can do it as a drinking game if you're adults living together. But I think you will love this book. Totally free. Manifest That Miracle. Learn why you don't have what you want and how to get it. Lana Shlafer, thank you so much for this book and all your work in the world.
Thank you. And yes, kids are amazing at this. Honestly, they are my biggest teachers. I have 3 of them. And so definitely give it a chance with your families. The biggest impact that you'll see is that your kids will now have this mindset of what's possible. That is honestly my big mission and vision in the world. So thank you.
I love it. So amazing. Lana Shlafer.